Commencing Autopsy 3. Time, 2104. 27-year-old female, infected with unknown pathogen. Blood analysis indicates virus. Provisional name is Pax-12. Deceased had traveled in China before returning home 2 weeks ago. That must have been pre-quarantine. Unknown if had contact with livestock, but I can definitely see evidence of insect bites. Deceased had reported coughing and sneezing with a high fever. I'm seeing a nasty rash, some abscesses around the abdominal cavity. Clear signs of immune suppression. Cause of death appears to be catastrophic organ failure. Findings match reports coming out of China. This is highly concerning. The deceased may still be infectious. I'm halting the autopsy in order to notify the authorities. Request a full lockdown of this facility. Effective immediately.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Aber, and welcome to a new game called Plague Inc. It's a game about diseases, somewhat. Bacteria, viruses, a bunch of different types of... and there's even a simian flu. Genetically modified increases ape intelligence, but untested on humans. It's interesting. So this is a game where you pick a bacteria or a sickness type and use it to infect people, the entire world, pretty much. Now, when you start off, you only have bacteria, but I won a game on normal mode about a few hours ago and unlocked virus. But we're going to jump in with bacteria. The modified genetic code, there's a bunch of different things that you can unlock from winning games. Each game you win, you get one of these genes. Now, there's a bunch of really cool ones, but I have right now Terracite, which increases chance of plague spreading by land. And I also have Ionized Helix, which bonus DNA when devolving. Now, I know that makes no sense whatsoever right now, but I'll explain in a bit. Difficulty levels. I beat my first game on casual because I was having a lot of problems with normal difficulty. I lost like 8 games in a row. Casual. No one washes their hands, research doctors don't work, and sick people are given hugs. Normal, which is what I'll be playing today. 67.3% of people wash hands, doctors work 3 days a week, and sick people are ignored. Eventually I want to try out Brutal and Mega Brutal. Brutal is compulsive hand washing, doctors never go home, and sick people are locked in prison. They lock their sick people in prison. I don't want to live there, although I never get sick anyway. And then Mega Brutal is genetic drift impacts evolution, which I have no idea what that means. Doctors invest in research and random medical checkups. So Mega Brutal is like crazy difficult. So anyway, we're gonna hop right into the game. As you saw in the trailer or intro or whatever you want to call it, Plague is named Pax-12. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Welcome to Plague Inc. You are a new bacteria. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humans in the ultimate plague. So pretty much what you do is you select a home country. I'm going to go with Russia because it's cold, it's huge, and that's pretty much it, because it's infected its first human weak, but used to cold temperatures, it must evolve using DNA points to infect more people. So this little bubble right here, this red bubble, tells me that I've infected someone in this country. So you pop that and you get extra DNA points, which can be seen in the lower left-hand corner. The reason I picked Russia is because Greenland always has 0. It's like really hard to infect that, but they are a cold climate area. So a little bit about what you're seeing on screen right now. In the lower left-hand corner, you have disease, DNA points, as you can see, going up. And speaking of DNA points, pop orange DNA bubbles when they randomly appear to get bonus DNA points, which you can use to evolve your disease. So I just got 3 from that. In the middle, I don't know if you can see my mouse. I think I have that turned off where you can't. That would be useful in a game like this, but in the middle, I have Greenland selected. If I select world, or if I just click somewhere in the ocean, I have world. It will grow exponentially. You control the plague indirectly by evolving it. In the lower right-hand corner, it says world, and then a blue bar with a 0%. That is the cure, which, as your disease spreads, especially if it has a lot of symptoms, doctors will find out about it and they will try to make a cure for it. Now, the reason that I like this game so much is that it makes sense with real life, in that if you go to the doctor and you have like a rash or a rash and a fever, there are certain green tech firm claims they have developed a power station that runs entirely on laughter and joy. Denies reports of oil barrels nearby. Nice. But anywho, if you go to a doctor and you have a fever and a rash, then they will know, okay, so you have one of these infections that has symptoms of fever and rash. Well, what would happen if your disease has no symptoms whatsoever? How would that progress, especially if it was highly infectious, which is pretty much what my disease is going to be. So we're going to hop into, if you click next to disease, that the disease screen, you click on that, left click, or you hit Q, you go into your disease screen, you see information about your disease. Its genetic complexity is simple. It's you even have a start date, so you can see when patient 0 was first infected. Fun fact, patient 0 in a epidemic or a pandemic is the first person who is infected. Or really in any kind of catastrophe, patient 0 is the carrier of it. They may or may not die. They usually do, though. Anywho, transmission. We have birds. Birds become susceptible to infection, and they also carry your disease. Rodents do the same. Common fleas susceptible to infection. Livestock, and each one of these has a certain thing that they specialize in. Like birds specialize in land transmission. Rodents, urban regions. So if you have a densely packed area, you probably have a lot of rodents hiding out. Livestock and rural regions. I can't say that word. Then there's insects for hot climates. Blood gives organism ability to spread through blood-to-blood contact, which increases infectivity, especially in poor regions, and increases mutation chance. So each one of these increases the infectivity as well as mutation chance. Your disease can mutate symptoms as the game progresses on. Then there's air, which lets it travel in dust particles in the air, and helps with arid environments and plane transmission. So transmission through planes. And then water does the same thing, except with fresh warm water in humid environments and ship transmission. This game, we're not going to have any symptoms whatsoever. I actually recorded an episode a few hours ago that was supposed to be my first episode, but the sound was too high and I don't talk loud enough. So that's why I turned the sound off. So there's a pretty awesome soundtrack, but I can't have it because I don't want to spend, I don't know however long it would take to figure out. I'd rather be playing, you know. So I just shut the sound off. Plus, the music might actually be copyrighted, and I get like copyright stuff from that. That's why there's no music in most of my gameplay footage, because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Abilities. This is really interesting. They have cold resistance, which helps you in cold temperatures. Heat resistance, which helps in hot temperatures, and then bacterial resilience, which protects against all climates. It probably doesn't protect as much as cold and cold and heat resistance. I gotta look that up. And there's also drug resistance. Some countries, like I think Angola or Iran, or I don't know, the UK, China, and the US are generally considered wealthier countries. They have better drugs as far as antibiotics goes, and so that increases resistance or increases effectiveness in those countries. So since we're in Russia and it's cold, we're going to increase cold resistance. And we are also, oops, not that one. And we're going to, let's see, if I click on Russia and then click the name of the country, we see that it's cold, it's humid, and it's rural. Okay, so I'm going to up my livestock real quick there. And turn up the speed. Pax-12 has infected hundreds in Russia, increasing the chance that an infected person will infect a healthy person. Keep evolving your disease. Oh, that reminds me. Someone from the CDC actually interviewed the creator of this game. Oh, Korea has been infected. Cool. Interviewed the creator of this game, and to see what their reasoning was for creating it. And it's pretty much, I can't remember what he said his reason was, but there's a game I think called Pandemic that this was inspired by. He got inspiration from Pandemic to make this game. And he's not a medical guy at all, so he had to go research all of this stuff and, find out. He's really interested in biology and stuff like that, so he went and researched the stuff for his game. And the CDC said that it's a good way to learn about how the general population would respond to an epidemic or a pandemic or a disease in different ways. Like if you have a whole bunch of symptoms, your disease is going to get found out quicker than if you have no symptoms. Finland is a wealthy country with high quality healthcare. To spread faster, you may need to evolve the drug resistance ability. Well, I think I've already evolved it once. Oh no, I haven't. Okay, there we go. Of course, when you unlock different ones, you get extra stuff. So when I evolved drug resistance, I got drug resistance 2 and genetic hardening, which pathogen becomes harder to analyze in a lab and decreases future research speed. Affected more people in the world than TB. It's a very infectious disease. Oh, and if anyone is wondering, this is an early access game on Steam. Affected more people in the world than HIV. It's extremely infectious disease. Okay, so I'm infecting all of Europe. Just need to get into Africa. Russia's almost completely. Developed the insomnia symptom. The only problem with this, I don't want symptoms. Last game, yeah, see, I got rash and I didn't see it. I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm also gonna get rid of insomnia. Hopefully it turns out better than the last time. I think I killed like 6 billion people and before the cure was found. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and evolve this for cold. And also going to add in air and water. And let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. We're starting to get a whole bunch now. And of course there's ways where you can get spread infection faster, but the last 8 times I tried that, where I had those red new health guidelines for rich countries have adopted new health guidelines which will make them less vulnerable to disease. Okay. But no, I had those red bubbles popping up all over the place, all over the map, so fast. I'd have like 10 or 11 at once. And yeah, it usually led to someone finding out about it and then me losing badly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to unlock drug resistance 2. That gives me genetic reshuffle. Pathogen DNA strands reassembled. More work needed to develop a cure. And we are also going to upgrade bird, which I don't have enough for anything else. Bird 2 unlocks an increase in... It allows birds to attack other species and make them carriers of the disease. Develop rash symptoms. Okay, so we're going to go into symptoms and get rid of that again. Like I said, I don't want any symptoms until the end. Infected more people in the world than the common cold is the ultimate infectious disease. 2 billion. And the world is only 7.124 billion people. I'm almost 30% of the world. And nobody has died yet. And if you're thinking, why not just infect a bunch of people and then kill them? That tends to send off red flags for scientists that it needs to be cured like right then. And you don't want people researching it or trying to find a cure for it. I think the game that I won earlier, it got up to like 90% by the time people started like anemia. Okay. Increasing red blood cells or hemoglobin in the blood can lead to hypoxia in the organs. Okay, we don't want that. So I've got 70 DNA points now. Mystery still surrounds the decision to postpone the London Olympics. Organizers promise it will happen soon, but no reason has been given for the change. So we need to increase spread in West Africa, or the African area. So we need rural, poor, and hot. Okay, so we're going to go in abilities. Pathogen avoid cellular breakdown at high temperatures. I think we need that one. And we're going to go for blood, because that increases infectivity, especially in poor regions, and the mutation chance. And the entire continent of Africa is generally considered poor. I think last time I messed up and didn't infect Morocco, which that's a rural, arid, hot, and poor country. And I think South Africa was on that list too. Something like that. Insomnia symptom, okay. Which the symptoms have good effects, like inability, like insomnia, inability to sleep, makes people irritable and less productive, and then paranoia, which I thought was awesome when I first started playing this game. Irrational delusions and mental symptoms. Victims' distrust of others makes them unlikely to seek treatment or cooperate with others. It also alerts people that there is a problem that needs to be solved. The problem being your disease. I'm really excited to try. I really want to try out Prion, but that one's like way down the list. Cyst symptoms. I don't want that one, especially. I mean, it can spread the disease. Oh, and if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's infectivity, severity, and lethality. Each one of these symptoms adds something to one of those categories. So if I devolve cysts, it should decrease severity and infectivity, and it does. If you just click on them, you can see what it does. I guess ideally you'd want your infectivity to be really high, and whenever you get down to it, lethality, which there are some in there that increase lethality an insane amount. But you'll get to see those when I decide to start evolving the symptoms to become real big issues, and we're almost there actually. And still, nobody knows it's there. Develop the rash symptom without using DNA points. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there because we have 95% of the world infected. PAX 12 needs to evolve to kill. PAX 12 has infected most of the world. In order to kill people, you must evolve lethal advanced symptoms using DNA points. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start on that. Why is... Angola was the one last time that ended up messing me up. Poor country and hot. Which 99% of them are still good. And their land borders are open. So I'm going to start, let's see, I'm going to devolve some of these transmission, because we don't need them anymore. So Angola is what? It's hot and it's poor. Okay, so I need to get rid of bird 2. Get rid of regular bird. Leave air. Get rid of livestock and blood. Go ahead and get rid of water. And then I'm going to go to symptoms, and I'm going to get insomnia. No, I need to get coughing, sneezing, immune suppression, pathogens attached to lymphocytes, suppressing immune systems and allowing significantly greater freedom of mutation, can be lethal. Get that, and whenever I decide that that's it, everyone is just doomed to fail. Total organ failure, catastrophic cell death of multiple tissue types, causes body-wide organ failure and rapid death. And we may as well get paranoia, seizures, and wow, insanity increases the severity a lot. Neuropathic action of the pathogen in the frontal cortex causes severe emotional and behavioral abnormalities, significantly harder to cure. Wow, dysentery makes the severity go way up. Is there any tooltip for... oh. how severe your pathogen is. Okay, that's very helpful. Oh, I keep forgetting about that. And we're gonna start going. Has mutated and developed nausea symptom without using DNA points. That's like free, oh, there it goes. In a normal checkup, a doctor in Canada found a new disease which has been named PAX-12. It appears to be mostly harmless, but must be investigated further. Other countries are also reporting this disease. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my abilities and evolve Genetic Hardening 1 and 2. First death from PAX has been confirmed in Afghanistan. Bad luck or the beginning of something terrible. Japan shuts down airports. There are two ways to fight development of the cure. Evolve aggressive symptoms to destroy countries, more noticeable, or evolve cure resistance, less noticeable. Iceland starts to work on cure. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade heat resistance because this place is still very much not infected, but that's about to change. New statistics show that PAX-12 has killed over 75 million people worldwide, worse than the Black Death. Okay, so there goes Angola. They've closed their land borders, but it's too late. Cure for PAX-12 is 25% complete. PAX-12 has killed over 120 million people worldwide, worse than Spanish flu. Okay, so now I start to get kind of nervous because this is at 50%. People in Saudi Arabia are extremely paranoid and refuse to cooperate fully with the global cure effort. Yeah. So I really need DNA points right now. Last healthy person on planet recently became infected with PAX-12. Okay, so we're going to go in here. We're going to devolve everything that doesn't have anything to do with, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that too. And this. And we're going to get rid of this. So we got 35 points. Total organ failure. That's all my points. Which I probably should have went, I think I just messed up. I probably should have went with normal life in Australia is beginning to break down due to PAX-12. Cure research is starting to slow. Deadliest plague ever has killed over 300 million people worldwide, worse than smallpox. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose this. Placed on the watch list. It's kind of late to place this thing on the watch list. Almost 2 billion people are dead. Send research teams to infected countries hoping to speed up development of a cure for PAX-12. Pop blue bubbles to destroy their research. Okay, so I've got 40 points. I'm going to get genetic reshuffle 1. And I need 29 for 2. I got 16, so I need 13 more. And it dropped it down 10%. Which I think is... Ukraine is the first to fall into anarchy due to PAX-12. No cure research can take place. And I've got 47, so I'm going to go for genetic reshuffle 2. And in 3 I need 34, so I need another 16. And that dropped it down to 76 from 83. Wow, that's way off. How many do I need? 34. I've got 32. There it goes. Genetic reshuffle 3 drops it down 7%, which is pretty good at this point. So it looks like I've won, but it just hasn't finalized yet. So guys, and any girls watching, hi. No, but seriously, if you like this, video and want to see me play more, especially with Virus and some of the other pathogens, let me know. Leave a like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. PAX 12 to eradicate humans. PAX 12 has destroyed the world despite the world's best efforts. The last few humans lay dying in holes with no chance of survival. It's kind of bleak and depressing, come to think of it. But anywho, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful evening. Oh, and also on this last page, it shows you your score, how many days it took, and what your cure progress was, and all that stuff. Total score was 4450. And I've only got 2 biohazard symbols out of 5. That's not cool, I don't think.